I am delighted to say I'm now joined in the studio by Tim Lee. Good evening, Tim.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. And you are another one of these artists who are gratefully appearing at the Nantwich Jazz Blues and Music Festival. I say gratefully, we're grateful that you're doing it.
I'm grateful to be playing it as well.
Yeah. Have you played the festival before?
I have, not for a number of years. I played on the Bank Holiday Monday, I think, or at one point, and right. It was. I literally played to one man and his dog. It was the back of the White Horse in the car park there,
right?
And it was one guy that would come along to see me and his dog, which who did enjoy it. So you know,
yeah. Well,
I went down well with the dog.
Plus, I mean, it's a bit earlier this year, isn't it? It's end of March, Easter. Yeah. So the weather could be a bit of an issue, but
yeah, fingers crossed it's going to be all right.
So, for people who don't know you, are you a local lad? Are you?
I am, yeah. I've sort of lived all around Cheshire, but I live in Nantwich at the moment, so it's just on my doorstep, really.
Yeah.
So, probably quite an easy gig compared to trekking out to Manchester or wherever I go usually. So,
well, with performing, do you get to travel much?
Yeah, well, I mean, I work full time, so it's quite tricky to play far flung places. But I play around the area quite a lot. I think one of my favourite gigs from last year was Nantwich at the Words and Music Festival. Right. I don't know if you went to it this year. It was really good. I played in Bloom Cafe there, which I really enjoyed. But yeah, just around there, and some Liverpool gigs and Manchester, and yeah, nearby really.
Northwest,
that's it, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, there does seem to be a bit more of a passion for music up here. I mean, I don't know, I'm not from down south, so I don't want to discriminate against anybody, but when I was in the band, it was always up north. We were doing like Carlisle and places like that.
Yeah. It's got quite a pedigree, hasn't it, the Northwest, for creating songwriters. There's probably probably a whole nother conversation, but why the North makes so many songwriters. But yeah, certainly some of my favourite artists are from around here, like Elvis Costello and people like that.
Well, I was going to say, who are your influences?
I'm now not going to be able to mention any other Northwest people that after saying that. No, well, my two main influences, well, the people that I love the most probably musically is Paul Simon and the late great David Bowie that's left us recently. But yeah, and Elvis Costello, Bjork I absolutely love, although I wouldn't say I sound anything like it.
Well, there was a song, because you recorded a couple of songs just before we started this interview, and there's one called The Source, where you name some of the influences.
That's right. I'm trying to remember them all now. There's
well, there was Taylor, so was that James Taylor?
James Taylor, yeah. I think when I was quite young, about sort of 9 or 10, I loved singing, but never thought I'd be able to do it because I'm not a great singer. But I think listening to someone like James Taylor, you realise it doesn't matter that much if you just have that that kind of one octave that you can sing in, as long as you mean what you're singing.
Well, I mean, look at Bob Dylan nowadays.
Exactly, yeah. So there's Jonathan Richman, who I don't know if you know from the Modern Lovers, like a sort of
Egyptian reggae.
That's right. And what I love about his music is he's very honest with what he sings about. Same with Loudon Wainwright, another one of my heroes. And I've always tried to do that with my music. Oh, was it
Lucy
Martha? Lucy, yeah.
Very good.
He tends to refer to them as the dysfunctional Von Trapps because I think every one of them sings, because you've got Rufus, Martha, Lucy. Is it Katie McGarrigle is the mum? And they've all got albums out. But yeah, I've seen Lucy support Loudon, and I've got one of her albums. It's really good. Yeah, very good stuff.
When I saw her, she was supporting Eddie Reader.
Okay, yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
From Fairground Attraction, is it? Or?
Yes. Yeah. She was actually the first person I ever interviewed.
Oh wow!
I was like a rabbit in the headlights. But she put me at my ease.
That's a good question back to you, actually. Who's your favourite kind of people you've interviewed, apart from myself, of course?
Well, I mean, favourites. There's been so many now that have been doing it. I mean, highlights. The first band I ever saw live was ELO back in 1978.
Yeah.
And I got to interview Bev Bevan, the drummer. So that was just a thrill for me.
Brilliant.
And Jeff Wayne, you know, did War of the Worlds.
Yeah, oh, I love War of the Worlds.
I got to interview him,
Brilliant.
and I've grown up listening to that album.
Yeah.
I saw the stage production every year it toured.
Oh yeah.
So to speak to him,
I used to put I used to have it on tape as a kid, and I used to put it on and turn all the lights off and like freak myself out with all those weird. What's the bit? It's got like this really freaky bass line.
Yes.
Yeah, that used to freak me out, and the unscrewing of the.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Still sends shivers down my spine when ooh ah. Yes. So anyway, back to you.
Sorry, I got it.
So I mean, are you out and about gigging much? Is it sort of every weekend?
No, I think it used to be, but obviously working full time, it kind of wore me out a bit, and I'm trying to kind of concentrate on less but more quality gigs if I can,
right?
To try and because I mean I love playing. I've played all over the place. I've played the worst places and some of my favourite places as well. And I just always try and give it 100% wherever I play. But yeah, I've not had chance to play as much as I'd like the last year or so. But I've played some good stuff. So
for the dear listeners out there, you basically walked into the studio, got your guitar out and started playing, and it's like you've been warming up for 20 minutes beforehand. Yeah.
Well, just sitting in the car with the guitar before and practicing.
Yeah, you've been sat in the car park for an hour.
Well, I mean, in my other sort of life, I'm a teacher, and I'm not a naturally confident person, but I think to teach and to play music, you've got to kind of go into a zone where you convince yourself that you're confident, and you kind of learn that over the years, I think, even if you're not feeling confident, to be able to put it on a little bit.
Yeah, but you don't want to come across as too brash or...
No, I don't think I'd ever come across as too cocky or whatever, but just enough to get the job done, as it were.
So, is there a favourite place that you played? You say you played the good and the bad, so...
Yeah. I always judge a venue by the standard of its toilets. I think that's the best way to do it. I've played in some places, certainly in Manchester. Nothing against Manchester, but have you seen Train Spotting, where he's in... Yeah, I've been in a few toilets like that. And actually getting changed in there as well, because you go, like you say, straight from work, and you're trying to change and look a bit more rock and roll, but you're standing on your own shoes because you don't want to... We won't go there, but yeah. Favourite places. I do like playing places like the Night and Day in Manchester as a good fun place to play, and the Roadhouse, which unfortunately is closed now. The Limelight. I used to love playing the Limelight. Yeah. Again, closed. There's a lot of these great venues are closing down, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to really enjoy playing festivals over the last few years. So like the Jazz Fest and the Words and Music and the Audlam Festival, and there's always a really good vibe, I think, at these sort of places, because it's more inclusive. I think some of the venues that you play, it can be a little bit. Some of the audiences are a bit too cool for school, and won't necessarily listen to something they've not heard, that's not their mate's band or isn't someone that they know of. Whereas you go to a festival, and there's all sorts of people.
Yeah.
There's kids, there's elderly people, there's teenagers, whoever.
Well, it's like the other show.
I love that.
The other show I do is a blues show.
Yeah,
and some purists will go to a concert and say, this isn't blues.
Right,
yeah. It's like, to me, it's all encompassing blues.
It's the same with, one of my favourite types of music, which you probably wouldn't guess from what I write, but is punk, is late 70s punk, and sort of post-punk as well, like Joy Division and stuff like that. And the whole idea of punk when it started off was that anyone could do it and anyone should give it a go. Unfortunately, it became a little bit like that, whereas that's not punk, or you can't do that because you're not wearing the right safety pins or whatever. And it's not about that. It's about, I think music's about bringing walls down, not putting them up. Yeah. And it's about it's something that's everyone should be able to have a go at. And
well, this is a danger with the music industry. They do like to categorise and pigeonhole. And
they don't tend to take risks, I think, recently as well. Like, going back to Manchester, I know a few bands there. And I wouldn't say my stuff's particularly edgy or whatever, but there's a lot of really interesting stuff going on that just doesn't get given the chance because they're not sure it's going to make the money. Like there's a band that I go and see frequently called the Madding Crowd. Absolutely brilliant. You know, every show is an event, and you go to it and you come away.
So
like,
if you stood at the back of the room, are you far from the Madding Crowd?
Hey, very good. Very good. I was trying to be serious then.
Sorry.
I was trying to be all poignant. And, yeah. So, yeah, there's lots out there, but I don't think things get given a chance sometimes.
Yeah.